Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to create your food web and how to edit and add arrows and whatnot. Okay, so here are your organisms, and then this is actually where you're going to put your food web. Now you may be wondering, like, how am I going to copy and paste or whatever? So a food web will always start with producers. It's just easier that way. So you can identify all the producers here. How would you do that? Well, you have to look at the organism and then read. Obviously, the spider is not a producer, it's a consumer because it needs to eat organisms in order to get energy. However, plants, and that includes fruits and whatnot too, gain energy from the sun. So they can create their own energy in the form of glucose. So I see a clover. I have leaves and flowers and seeds. They're a great snack if you like that sort of thing. So what you can do is copy this by putting Control C, right? Or you can just click here and put copy, and then go to the next slide and you can press paste, right? Or you can put Control V and it would be the same thing, but you only do it once. So you only need one, and you make it small. All right, you can like change the size and all that good stuff. You can make it big, but I would prefer that because you can't really do anything. Now to make an arrow, you go over here to shapes, arrow, and you can actually make arrows however you want. So it needs to have, one side needs to be the blunt side, which means it's flat. So I'll show you. The flat side, and there needs to be a side that's a point, because remember that you need to have it like a Pac-Man, where this is going to like eat whatever is on this side. This is like the dead guy, all right? So let's just clear all of that. Cool. All right, so that's the way that you can do it. You can make it different colors too. You can also use these arrows that have little curves of it, so it's like a bent arrow. This may be a little more interesting, so you don't have to put it that way, but that's an option. But for the sake of this class, we're going to use our regular arrows, okay? Now, once we have our arrow, you can make it different colors, maybe pink or something. Who knows, or blue. Blue's my favorite color. And then you can arrange it by just moving the orientation. So it can literally go all the way around, like 360, all right? But this organism is obviously going to get eaten, the blunt side, because it doesn't have a mouth. It's a plant, and plants don't eat anything. So we need to find an organism that eats the plant. That's weird. So that's supposed to be eyeball. So let's find an organism that eats the plants. Well, I'm going to go back to my slide, and you're working as a group in this anyway, so it's okay. It's like, okay, so I already know that, I got rid of my clover, so I don't need that. So which organism eats plants? This one eats insects, it says. This one eats ants. This mice eats cheese and human food. He also eats seeds and nuts. Ooh, maybe a mouse could eat it, because a mouse eats that. So I'm going to copy this. You can also you can also cut it, so you get it right out of there. So you can also cut it and then paste it here, because then it gets there. Okay. So what you have to do, what you have to do is, since this organism eats the clover, it's going to be right here, because this organism is eating the clover. But guess what, guys? There's more than one organism that eats the clover. So let's go ahead and try and identify what other organism it is. Well, I already have, let me see, what about frogs? Do frogs eat that? They eat flies. Nope, that's not going to do. An ant likes peanut butter and flowers and seeds. That's cool. So I know an ant could eat the clover, so I'm going to copy this or cut it. Whichever one you want to do. You can copy or cut. I would just prefer you just cut it, okay? And you can paste it here. But then it's like, well, like what? Are you going to put it on the same arrow? No, you make a totally new different arrow. So what you can do is, I like to just click on this arrow to make them all the same color. And then I go back to shapes and then put a different arrow, so it just stays the same color. So since the clover, that's the dead side, that's going to die. All right. And then this is the eating side, it's going to eat. Cool. That's how you start a food web. That's how you start the food web, okay? Does that make sense? That makes sense. Now you're going to have an organism that eats a mouse. Maybe you'll have more that eat the clover. There's like some connections here. Here we already gave you like some examples of the different relationships. It's like, ooh, like look how many arrows leave out of the rat because the eagle eats the rat and the eagle could eat a wolf. That's crazy. And then the wolf eats the rat. So it's just all of these feeding relationships. Like everything eats everything, pretty much. Okay? So just read into that, do that. And then once you're done, you can do quizzes. It's going to be so fun. Work as a group. Only one person in your group needs to complete this while everyone else works. Okay? Good job, guys. And, good luck.